this is a question I love asking. I'll attorneys that have started their own firm, but like what's like the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year goal?
Yeah.
Right?
10-year, 20-year, 30-year. Oh man, 30 years, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first started off, honestly, the goal was just like, can I financially support
Right,
myself?
right,
Like, can
right.
I? Honestly, not even that. It was more like, can I win a case?
Okay.
Can I get some income coming in? That was really it. As it's grown, I think it's just there's a part of me that wants to get to a point where I can automate a lot more things, and like I've dabbled in that with like things like Zapier and stuff, but it's still not to a point where I can account for every single scenario. And I guess I learned after I created the law firm that I am way more of a control freak than I ever knew.
Dude.
Are you the same way?
Yeah, you gotta like.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how I can delegate a task to anyone, even like a robot. So,
I'm sorry. What is Zapier?
So Zapier is a tool, another web-based application where you can link a ton of different things. So like, let's say Google Drive to my Gmail,
Okay.
or Google Drive to Evernote, whatever it is, and you set up kind of commands like if-then statements. So it's like baby's version of coding, I guess.
Yeah.
And it'll create automated commands. So like, let's say, client send me an email with an attachment. Save that attachment to a Trello board or something like that. I don't know if you're familiar with Trello.
No.
So that's another web-based application. Just kind of a good way to keep workflow going. Kind of like, I know a lot of attorneys use Monday or Asana.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a good way to it's more like a task list.
Okay.
And you can really customize it, so I know people use it in crazy ways, but I'm really just using it like a task list from time to time.
Gotcha. Interesting.
That's also a great place I actually use to store notes in. So like I said, just take random notes of things you learned.
Mm-hmm.
So I have tons of categories. Like I'll have like patent law, and it just has random notes of like, if this instance happens, this is the like correct answer. Like it's very much plug and play. I definitely like to look at things like from a mathematical standpoint. So I'm always like, if the client comes in with this problem, what's the answer?
Gotcha. Dude, I love talking shop.
Yeah.
With attorneys that have started their own. One thing I've realized is, well, let me put it this way: you do have the flexibility in your time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at a certain point, you want to have that flexibility while increasing your income.
Right.
While increasing your income.
Right.
So, at a certain point, it just becomes clear to me that like that control, you gotta like.
I know, and that's the 10-year plan. I'm like, I need to figure out some way to delegate this, whether it's to a person or a robot, and how I can either increase my income with doing even less work, or maintain some sort of stable income and have less work.
Right.
So that's really what the 10-year goal is. It's income up,
right,
time spent actually doing the work down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I want to say that when I say time spent doing the work, I don't necessarily mean the lawyering work, because that's the part I enjoy the most. It's more so, I don't want to be here having to like go through my ledger and like reconcile my IOLTA account, or put in like I bought these headphones for my podcast that I'm doing at the law firm, and now I got to expense these. So it's things like that where I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in the nitty gritty of that day-to-day stuff.
Dude, I'll tell you, I made two decisions. One is getting an accountant.
Yeah.
And that I don't worry about bookkeeping at all anymore, and just like realizing how much time it's saving me, and just headache. It's more than the time; it's the headache.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't have to worry about it. And the second, for me at least, was an assistant. And I mean, when it comes to the admin stuff, you're buying back so much more of your time.
Yeah.
So.
The accounting thing is a great point, because so the first year of my law firm, I was like, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do taxes myself. That was another thing where I was like, I want to learn.
You can't.
No, you can't.
You
That's what I learned. Yeah. I was like, I want to learn every aspect of this firm, so if I do ever hire someone, I want to know exactly what it's like to do that job, and like how hard it is, what the pain points are, how I might be able to help.
Right.
So that first year, I tried doing it myself. I guess I succeeded, but I was just like, this is way too much work. It's not worth it. I don't even know if I'm getting the right benefits I should be getting from the tax code.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the second year. I immediately was like, all right, I'm going to hire an accountant for this. And then what was the second thing you said? You said an assistant, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, there's never a good time. There's never a good time because, like, all right, you started a business, you know, and you're also good throughout you, just like me. So I get it, you know. It's like, wait, what's their salary? Hold on, what's my salary? Like, you know what I mean? So I totally get it, but the way, you know, the little bit of letting go and just realizing, like, okay, well, how much does this cost for 3 months?
Right.
And when you break it down to that, it's like, all right, come on, I can afford 3 months. If it doesn't work in 3 months, you know, it's an at-will state, like, you know, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a probationary period.
Right, 90-day probationary period.
And I'm telling you, there's never a good time. Just, you know, do what you will. But my recommendation is just do it.
The assistant thing is really interesting because it's just going back to that control thing. And so because I'm so reluctant to do that, that's why I've jerry-rigged all these random Excel codes and things like that. So, like, I'll have, you know, my bank statement being pulled into an Excel file that handles all of, like, the expenses for me. Even, like, booking clients. Like, I'll have a system where they can fill out a form on my website and it'll automatically populate into my calendar. You know, things like that.
Gotcha.
It'll automatically send them an email that says, like, oh, yeah, you're booked, and then here's a little welcome packet with all the information you need. So, like, there's so many things that are automated. They're just all jerry-rigged in such a way where it's like, I don't know if I could replicate this. Like, there's no way I could put together standard operating procedures for my firm if, you know, I were to, like, grow this to a 10-person firm. I feel like there's no standard operating procedure.
I gotcha. Well, dude, if it's working for you, which it clearly is, you know, keep doing it. I'm just telling you what worked for me, man. Like,
no.
And obviously we're always still learning, and that's the important part.
Is it too cheesy to say, you know, that's why where they always say you're practicing law?
That's cheesy, but I like it, man. I like it. You're always practicing.